We talk about a Base Plus program. And it's really all about flexibility, and even better, it's about saving money. It's about being always right, no matter what kind of a growing season nature throws at us. And I can remember in the early days, before we had the ability to do wide drop mid-late season, we were under the gun to always guess ahead of time. So let's take a look at 3 years. Let's take 2012, a drought year, a generational worst drought for me. 2015, here in central Illinois, all-time wettest. 2016, where everything just seemed to go right. Started out with super spring, and it stayed that way weather-wise, so we had a ton of mineralization. In other words, weather was so conducive that we did not have to put on a lot of nitrogen. So let's break it down and talk about how a Base Plus program would work. In 2012 in the drought, where back then I had too much on too early, I couldn't react. There's a $25 an acre savings by being able to say, you know what? We're going to be 100 bushel corn instead of 250. We wouldn't need all that nitrogen on out ahead, and there's $25 that we could put in our pocket. Quite the opposite in 2015. We definitely needed more in, and we were able to come in a Base Plus program, monitor, see that the tank was running empty. We recharged that fuel tank in the field late in the season, and we were able to put 14 bushel national average across the country, all across the country, using the same amount of nitrogen by changing the timing and the placement. In other words, we didn't have that nitrogen at risk. Yes, we spent a little more money, but 40 bushel was very, very common in many fields, with 14 across the board average. There's $50 right there. Then we come to 2016, where everything seemed to line up. The Base Plus program was quite an advantage to us. So where we had on pre-plant 100 units with the planter and pre-plant, then we came back in of 80 units to 85 units right at shoulder high corn and V10, with a planned third pass with wide drop at tassel time. When we saw nature giving us lots of free dollars of nitrogen, we didn't apply the last 50 pounds. And so we put in our pocket 25 extra dollars an acre just in inputs. So then when you go back and look at our national trials across the country, and we saw a 7 to 10 bushel average there, we put another $25 in our pocket. And so all of a sudden, we were back to $50, just like we were in 2015, and of $25 in 2012, it becomes an obvious choice for Base Plus because time always lets us win.